My name is the Wise Mentor, and as you're aware, I don't feed you any BS. I give you the honest truth about what women truly want versus what they claim to want. Before diving into this week's topic, I have a small request. If you enjoy this video or any of my content, whether it's what I'm saying, what I'm wearing, or whatever, give me a thumbs up, a like, a share. Subscribe, and spread the word. In today's video, I'm going to share something important. I'll be talking about creating an emotional connection and why it holds so much significance for older women. Now, I've got a bit of a feeling about you. Somewhere along your journey of learning how to be better with women, you've probably been told that to be with a woman, you need to build an emotional connection with her, right? Well, this is generally true. But here's the catch. Many men completely misinterpret what that actually means. They assume that emotional connection for women automatically translates to sugar, spice, and all things nice, imagining it has to revolve around love, romance, and eternal togetherness. But the reality is, an emotional connection can also be entirely based on sexual desire. If she's thinking to herself, now, pay close attention because this is crucial. Although sexual desire counts as an emotional connection, most men go about it the wrong way. They're far too direct and explicit, thinking that's how women should respond, but that's not how women are wired. A guy saying something like, "Want to do it?" Or "Bend over, I'll give you the ride of your life." That might work in adult films, but in real life, it does nothing for a real woman. For women, subtlety and innuendo are your biggest allies when trying to turn her on. If you can hint at something sexual and let her imagination fill in the gaps, you'll be much more effective than being too blatant. So, here are some examples of the types of subtle statements you can use. When a woman is complimenting or challenging you, acknowledge it in a playful way that suggests you know what she's up to, basically teasing her for having a dirty mind. For example, you might say, "You're totally hitting on me right now," or "You're falling in love with me, aren't you?" Or something like, "You're flirting with me. That's cute," or "See, I knew you had a naughty side," or even "I've got way too many bad thoughts going through my mind right now." You can also say something like, "You're definitely going to be trouble for me," or ask her some subtle questions that could lead to something more suggestive. For example, "Have you ever been skinny dipping?" Or "What's your take on public displays of affection?" These lines are a way to introduce sexuality into the conversation. If she plays along with these statements, it's a sign she's on the same wavelength and things might escalate. Not necessarily to intimacy, but her engagement shows attraction. You'll still need to build on it, but this approach lets her imagination do most of the work, turning her on without you having to spell everything out. The brain is the biggest sexual organ, no matter what your tape measure says, so letting her mind run wild is far more effective. Want proof? Pick up any romance novel women read. Go on Amazon and buy one. It'll be the best $5 you spend. You'll notice the build-up is gradual, with intimacy being teased and implied, not explicitly discussed at first. But as the tension rises, things become more sexual until it reaches a tipping point, leading to some of the wildest scenarios you could imagine. This is what women respond to. It's how they fantasize about things unfolding with a man, unlike in those movies made for men, where barely 2 words are exchanged before the actors mindlessly jump into it. Men who grasp how to communicate with women in this way are incredibly rare, and that's why those who do have far more sexual opportunities than they know what to do with. So, if you're interested in mastering how to quickly create these kinds of emotionally charged sexual connections with women, then keep watching. Understand emotional subtext. A critical aspect of building emotional connections with women, especially older women, is recognizing the emotional subtext in your interactions. You see, women often communicate on multiple levels at once. What they say is rarely the whole story. There's an emotional undertone in every conversation, and if you're tuned into that, you can create a connection that's not just about words, but about understanding her deeper feelings. For example, when she tells you about a stressful day at work, she's not necessarily looking for a solution. She might just want to be heard and feel like you get her. A simple response like, "That sounds tough, I can tell you've been carrying a lot," opens up space for emotional intimacy. The more you show you're present and aware of her emotional world, the stronger your connection will become. Timing is everything. Another key point is that timing plays a huge role in how effectively you create an emotional connection. Trying to create an intimate moment when she's not in the right mindset will only feel forced and awkward. You need to be able to read her mood, her body language, and the flow of the conversation. For instance, if she's distracted or stressed, pushing for an emotional or sexual connection could backfire. However, when she's relaxed, playful, or showing signs of interest, those are the moments when you can start to escalate things. It's like striking a match. You need the right conditions for the spark to catch. Take the time to notice when she's opening up emotionally and lean into those moments with empathy, understanding, and playful banter. You can even ask her questions that invite her to share more about her experiences, like, what makes you feel truly understood? Or, what's something you wish more people noticed about you? By digging deeper into her emotional landscape, you'll find opportunities to build a genuine connection that isn't just surface level. The power of vulnerability. The third point I want to emphasize is the power of vulnerability. Many men think they need to project confidence and control at all times to keep a woman's interest. And while confidence is undeniably attractive, vulnerability is equally powerful in creating a deep emotional connection. Being vulnerable doesn't mean showing weakness. It means having the courage to share your authentic self. When you're open about your feelings, your past experiences, or your fears, you're giving her permission to do the same. This kind of vulnerability builds trust and emotional intimacy far faster than trying to maintain a facade of invulnerability. For example, when you're sharing a personal story, you might say something like, "I don't usually talk about this, or I've been thinking a lot about how certain experiences shaped who I am today." This shows her that you trust her enough to open up. When you make yourself emotionally available, you invite her to meet you on that deeper level, and that's where true emotional connections are forged. It's in those moments of vulnerability where she'll feel closer to you, and where desire can grow beyond just physical attraction. It becomes emotional and mental as well. By understanding emotional subtext, timing your approach carefully, and being willing to show vulnerability, you create the kind of deep emotional connections that resonate with women, particularly those with life experience. This emotional depth goes hand in hand with physical desire, leading to a relationship that's both intellectually stimulating and intensely passionate. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I truly hope you found the insights I shared valuable, especially when it comes to understanding how to create emotional connections with women, particularly older women. Remember, it's not just about what's said, but the emotional subtext and connection you're able to build through subtlety, timing, and vulnerability. The more you practice, the more naturally these interactions will flow, and the deeper your connections with women will become. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Every like helps more people discover the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I've got a lot of great content lined up, so stay tuned. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment down below. What strategies have worked for you when building emotional connections? Do you have any personal experiences or tips you'd like to share? I read all the comments and would love to engage with you directly. Thank you again for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and always stay true to yourself. Take care. By understanding emotional subtext, timing your approach carefully, and being willing to show vulnerability, you create the kind of deep emotional connections that resonate with women, particularly those with life experience. This emotional depth goes hand in hand with physical desire, leading to a relationship that's both intellectually stimulating and intensely passionate.